attending my last lecture, bache? I'm saying, why didn't you attend my last lecture, bache? No, you were not there. There is a lecture of a botany and you didn't attend that lecture, I guess. Is it too? Last week, most probably. So today's topic is how do organisms reproduce? Do you know what is the meaning of reproduction? What do you understand by the term reproduction, bache? Tell me. Okay. Producing young ones for one of their existence. Okay, tell me why this reproduction is important. Why it is important? Why reproduction is important? Any idea? For the variation, right? For the variation, exactly, not go to the extent exactly, and right? For variation, for survival, for the better chances of survival, right, Krishna? Yes. Okay, so basically reproduction is important because to basically make their own copies, more copies, right? To transfer your genes to the coming up generation, right? Now we heard about why reproduction is important. Reproduction is important because for the new for the better chances of the survival and for the variation, for the new characters which is being formed from the parents से क्या लेते हैं लोग genes लेते हैं, they are carrying the characters from their parents and there is a new variation in the young ones, right? For example, your nose, your eyes must be similar to your parents, but you are not exact copy of your parent, right, Krishna? Okay. Now, basically, your consistency of DNA copying during reproduction is important for maintaining of a body designs and features, right? अगर जैसे जैसे changes आते रहेंगे वैसे वैसे बॉडी के अंदर बॉडी की जो कंपैटिबिलिटी होती है, ड्यूरेबिलिटी होती है, वो बढ़ती है, राइट? फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आपने एक पुरानी कार ली है, ठीक है, फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाट्स योर फेवरेट कार, कृष्णा? टेल मी, व्हाट इज योर फेवरेट कार? Krishna, what is your favorite cow? Favorite car? Your favorite car? Mercedes. Okay. Okay. For example, you bought a Mercedes of model 2018. Okay. Now, after 12 years, does your car look exactly the same as it looked before? Do you think that after 10 years your Mercedes Benz will be have the better chances for survival? Tell me. Do you think that features they have contained it will be enough for your upcoming generation? Matlab, exactly not. No, because variation is important. Because हमारी जो ज़रूरतें हैं वो डे बाय डे चेंज हो रही है, ठीक है, फीचर्स नए आ रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो एग्जैक्टली टेक्नोलॉजी चेंजेस आल्सो सेम एज इट इज बीन आवर ह्यूमन इज आल्सो इवॉल्व्ड, have you heard about evolution? Homo sapiens is the latest one which we have evolved much. Yeah, exactly. Same as it is, it goes with your human beings as well. That is why reproduction is important, right? So we have reproduction is of two types. Okay, basically reproduction. Just a second. Basically, reproduction is of two types. That is asexual asexual and sexual reproduction. Now, do you know the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction, Krishna? What is it? That reproduction में asexual means that means only one parent is involved. Only one parent is involved, right, Krishna? And here's both the parents is involved, right? Here the exact copy will be formed. Here variation can be seen, right? Then they have less better chances of survival. They have better chances of survival. यहाँ तक क्लियर है कृष्णा? Asexual and sexual में difference clear है? That here only one pair is involved, exact copy will be formed, no variation can be seen. ठीक है, it takes less time, but your sexual take more time, right? There we haven't seen variations. Here we cannot see variation. Asexual has less better chances of survival, whereas the sexual have the better chances of survival. Am I right? Am I clear? Yes, Krishna. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now tell me. No variation is seen, right? Then we have only one parent is involved, right? Then we have it takes less time, exact copy, right? Now we have to see what are the various, basically हमारे पास various processes है of sexual reproduction के. For example, we have regeneration, budding, binary fission, fragmentation, and vegetative propagation. यहाँ तक क्लियर हुई बात? समझ आई? Okay. Now there are many bacterias and protozoas simply split by the process of fission. Right. For example, this. Here, this is an amoeba. Nucleus, there will be an elongation of nucleus. That means genetic material has been divided. Then this is cytoplasm division. And here it will be what? Daughter cells. Am I clear, Krishna? Wonderful. Okay, so basically, fission में क्या किया मैंने? There is an organism which split into itself and makes the two daughter cells. Again, these two will be dividing into four. Here, this process is known as division. Okay, now tell me, if there is elongation of the nucleus, यहाँ से जो genetic material, nucleus contain what genetic material? That is DNA. Over here, it contains the same DNA. So there will be no variation can be seen. So only there will be two organism has formed, right? Right, Krishna? There is basically there are other organisms just like amoeba, bacteria, leishmania. ठीक है, binary fission is also happened in leishmania also, right? Which is also caused kala azar, right? यहाँ तक clear है सबको? Yes, Krishna? आगे बढ़े? Then we have a multiple fission as well. Okay, tell me what you understand by the term multiple fission. Bache, there is a term known as multiple fission. What you understand by the term multiple fission? That is, tell me the organism which called malaria. Do you know? Plasmodium under. Basically, there is a single-celled organism just like malarial parasite known as Plasmodium. Divide too many daughter cells simultaneously, that is known as multiple fission. Yeast भी ऐसे ही करता है. Right? For example, they grow in a cyst or spore-like pattern, and after the favorable condition has come, it bursted up, and all the cells will be coming up. Right? यहाँ तक समझ आ गया? Right. Now, okay. Now, fragmentation. Okay. Basically, fragmentation is what? There will be a distribution of that organism into pieces. Like into pieces like Sparagira, Planaria. Now, this is an organism called Planaria. There it will be broken into pieces, and then it will be formed different organism. Getting it, Krishna? Right, because here with help of these three fragments it can be formed into three different individuals. Right. अब इसमें क्या है? By this process, multiplication increased by 2 times, right? So here the growth of this organism will be faster than other one. And what is regeneration? Can you appreciate this diagram of a lizard? Have you seen basically tail of lizard can regrow? Right? This process is known as regeneration. Right? It can be seen in Hydra as well. Getting it, Krishna? Okay. Now, this regeneration capacity will be seen in different animals but cannot be seen in humans. Otherwise, there will be a chances ki, have you seen ki haath cut gaya and it will be regrow? But yeah, maybe in future we can see that there will be a technology or something that we can basically change in our genes and can regrow or structure, body structure. Okay, now tell me, इसमें भी रीग्रोथ हो रही है and इसमें भी वही चीज हो रही है, तो tell me what is the basic difference between, so now Krishna will tell me the difference between regeneration that is regeneration and fragmentation. Yes. Now you can tell me what is the difference between regeneration and fragmentation. Yes. Yes, Krishna? Okay. Of a particular limb or a particular part of the body. Exactly. Whereas, yeah, not cells and tissue, basically a limb, an organ. For example, we have humans also have a capacity of regeneration of liver. If the 1/4 of liver is present, it can regenerate. Okay, yeah, liver has the power of regeneration, but only the liver. not any other organ, not any other cell can regrow. Fragmentation is, yes, exactly, and breaking down, yeah, breaking down into different fragments, and then new individual can be formed by that. Okay, perfect. Now we'll talk about budding. Budding is what? This is a hydra. A bulb-like projection has been formed, and then it will be attached to the parent for nutrients. Then an adult hydra will deattaches. Basically, yeah. See, this is an adult. Now it ready for the detachment, and then it gets detached, and then again the cycle continues. Done with budding? Yes. Okay. Now this is what is vegetative propagation. There are many plants in which parts of the roots, stems, leaves develop into a new plant. Heard about it, Krishna? Basically, this property of vegetative propagation can be used in layering, drafting, right? Heard about these methods? Layering, drafting. To grow as much as sugarcane, roses, grapes, right? Exactly. So basically, there's a bryophyllum or other root stems are required which can be grown into a new individual. This process is known as vegetative propagation. Done that? Any doubt in asexual reproduction? We are done with asexual reproduction, Krishna. Then, one basically has been left with, that is spore formation. Okay, that is spore formation. That is spore formation. Right. What is spore formation? Basically, the rhizopus. Here we have got the pores, right? Like sporangia. The spores are covered by a thin protective membrane that comes that cannot become with the contact of moist surface and can begin to grow with. Okay, spore formation basically unfavorable conditions में होती है. अब हमने asexual reproduction खत्म कर दिया. यहाँ तक कोई भी डाउट है कृष्णा? Okay. Now we heard about the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction we have done with that. There will be two sexes. That is male and female. Basically from the zygote. Zygote say then it will be again if I'll talk about human beings, then it will be into embryo, and then embryo say it will be a fetus. Fetus say then after delivery it is have a baby individual, right? This is all about in sexual reproduction in human beings. Yes, Krishna. Okay. Now we'll heard about sexual reproduction के लिए both the male and female partners has to be there. Males and female are the two components. Then time taking होता है यार. right? Then variations can be seen. Better survival chances. यहाँ तक क्लियर है? Exactly. Now tell me something about the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. We have the different parts of a flowering plant, right? We have sepals, we have petals, we have stamens, we have pistil, right? Stamen and pistil are the male and the female germ cells basically. या organs बोल सकते हैं, parts बोल सकते हैं. That is stamen and pistil. Stamen is the male one. Female is pistil. Filament and anther. Filament में and anther. And then we have style, stigma, ovary. This is a female pistil. Am I clear? यहाँ तक clear है? If I draw a diagram of it, if I draw an anther, this is filament. This is anther. This whole will be stamen, right? Now this is an ovary. This is style. And this one is stigma. Stigma, style, ovary. This is stamen. And then we have petals, sepals. समझ आ गया यहाँ तक? This is ovary. यहाँ तक समझ आ गया? कोई भी डाउट? Examples क्या है? Then we have the example of unisexual and bisexual. Unisexual flowers किसके होते हैं? Papaya, watermelon. Whereas bisexual is mustard. लिख लो ये. That is, we have unisexual. That means we have different parts. That means it contains unisexual flower. That means if either contain stigma. Basically, अगर मैं बोलूं unisexual flower क्या होता है? Unisexual flower, either it contain pistil, either it will contain stem. Only one is present. Whereas bisexual means both male and female are present in one flower. Am I clear with it? No doubt. Exactly. यहाँ तक सब ठीक समझ आया? यूनिसेक्सुअल एंड यूनिसेक्सुअल का एग्जांपल क्या था? We have papaya, right? We have papaya and watermelon. Clear with? And then bisexual में we have hibiscus, and then hibiscus and one second. We have hibiscus. We have hibiscus and mustard. यहाँ तक क्लियर है? कोई भी डाउट है? Okay. Basically, what is pollination? The transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma. Basically, what do you understand by the term pollination? Now, what is pollination? The transfer of pollen grain from anther of male reproductive part to the stigma of the female reproductive part is known as pollination. Now, pollination is of two types, bache. That is self-pollination. That is, we have self-pollination and cross-pollination. Now, tell me what is self-pollination and cross-pollination, Krishna? Do you know about what is self-pollination and cross-pollination? Okay. Self-pollination, that the pollen grain of the anther is transferred to the stigma. Basically, yes, you are partially correct. Basically, self-pollination is what? Self-pollination when the pollen grain from anther is transferred to the stigma of same flower. Then it is called self pollination. यहाँ तक clear है? Right. Whereas cross pollination is what? Cross pollination क्या होता है? When the pollen grain from anther is transferred to the stigma of a different flower. Then it is known as cross pollination. अब जो सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन है वो ऑब्वियसली बाइसेक्सुअल फ्लावर्स के अंदर ही होगी, राइट? एंड जो क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन है वो हमेशा यूनिसेक्सुअल प्लांट्स में होगी या यूनिसेक्सुअल फ्लावर्स में होगी, राइट? एग्री विद मी कृष्णा? Okay. Now we'll talk about the pollinating agent. Pollinating agent can be insect, water, air, soil, right? Basically these are the one who can help in pollination. Clear, Krishna? Krishna, clear? Okay. Now we'll talk about pollen grain. Pollen grain is a male germ cell. It is covered by the two layers. The outer one is exine, inner one is intine. Exine intine is the two layer. Intine जो है that provide nutrition to the cell. Right? यहाँ तक clear है कृष्णा? Provide nutrition to the cell, right? Now, how does pollination occur when the pollen is transferred? For example, this is your stigma, this is your style, and this is your ovary. Okay, and this is your anther. Anther ने pollen grain छोड़ दिए. Pollen grain क्या करेगी? Let me magnify this image. Right. Now this pollen grain जो आके गिरा है, will germinate a pollen tube, and we have the ovules over here. This pollen tube basically and here the male germ cell will come and fertilize itself. Fertilization takes place. Then your ovary will turn into fruit. Your seed is formed from ovules. यहाँ तक क्लियर है सबको? यस कृष्णा, क्लियर? यस कृष्णा, ओके. सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन क्लियर है? कोई भी डाउट है? Okay, we'll talk about reproduction in human beings. What do you understand by the term reproduction in human beings? Anybody? Yes, Krishna? Yes, Krishna, answer me. Yes, but how it is being performed? Sexual reproduction in humans. After puberty, first of all, there will be an adolescence age. Right, what is an adolescent age and what is puberty? It starts from 13 to and ended up to 19. There will be different changes in male and female. Right, जिसे हम बोलते हैं secondary sexual character. Secondary sexual characters. Males में क्या होते हैं? Broad chest, Adam's apple, and voice changes exactly. Beard growth, hormonal changes, right? यही होते हैं. फीमेल्स में क्या होते हैं? डेवलपमेंट ऑफ mammary glands, pubic hair growth, and what hormonal changes? यही changes होते हैं mainly, right? Yes, Krishna? After this puberty, a male and a female and also their primary sex organs have also been developed. Primary sex organs of male and female is basically male reproductive system consists of portion That is one who produce germ cells, and other one is that deliver the germ cells to the site of fertilization. Am I clear with it? Yes. Now, basically the formation of germ cells or sperms takes place in testes. Testes क्या होते हैं? Anybody? Testes is lie in a pouch-like structure called as scrotum, which lie out of the body because sperm need 2 to 3 degree less from the body temperature. That means the body temperature is 37, and the formation of sperm is known as spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis, that is between 35 to 30. The normal temperature will be 2 to 3 degree less from body temperature, that is 37 से कम होना चाहिए. That is almost about approximately up to 34. यहाँ तक clear है? Right? Yes. यहाँ तक clear? Okay. Now, in testes there is a compartment of up to 150 which is known as seminal vesicles. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Seminal or seminal vesicles. In each compartment there will be 2 to 4 sperm has been there, and it will be transferred through vas difference through basically, and it comes out from the common passage known as urethra. Then accessory जो glands होते हैं या organ होता है, that is a penis, a prostate gland. What do you understand by the prostate gland? Which provide nourishment, nutrition. Okay, and also it release of fructose, right? Basically, also there are cells which provide in a semi known as Sertoli cells. कौन से cells होते हैं? Sertoli cells. We have Sertoli cells as well. We will be reading in class 12th about it in detail. यहाँ तक सबको समझ आ गया? बेसिकली जो प्रोस्टेट ग्लैंड होता है वो न्यूट्रिशन प्रोवाइड करता है, फ्रुक्टोज रिलीज सीक्रेट करता है सो दैट इट कैन बी मोर easier for releasing it. Okay, now if I talk about the single unit, single germ cell, that is sperm. Basically, we have the acrosomal head. In head, it contains acrosomal enzyme, which can neutralize or basically will diffuse the zona pellucida, zona pellucida, zona pellucida, zona, one second there, zona pellucida, which diffuse the zona pellucida, zona pellucida, zona pellucida of ova during fertilization. It has a acrosomal head, it has a neck and a tail for motility. There is a only site where fertilization takes place in the ovary in an fallopian tube, that is ampulla, isthmus junction. That is ampulla isthmus junction. Only this site can fertilization can take place. Am I clear? Yes. Now we'll study about yes. Now we'll read about the female reproductive system. So आपको male reproductive subsystem समझ आया? ये clear with seminal vesicle, vas deferens. Then you have scrotum where the testis has been there. Then we have the penis. Then we have the prostate gland. We have the bladder also. We have the ureter. Get it? This is the basically the human male reproductive system. Am I clear? Okay. Now we'll start about the female reproduction का मैं सिर्फ तुम्हें थोड़ा brief कर रही हूँ. And we'll detail in next lecture. Okay? That is a female reproductive system. Consists of a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviduct. Oviduct को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Fallopian tubes. Then we have a uterus. Then cervix, and then vagina. If I'll say, then this is ovary. Then here we have oviduct. Again, I'll make one more ovary, and then I'll again make an oviduct. Then from here, I'll slightly move up, and then I'll draw a basically it's an inverted pear shape. Okay, that is an inverted pear shaped uterus, and then we have a cervix over here, and then we have the vagina. This is a female reproductive system. This is an ovary. This is a fallopian tube. fallopian tube. Then we have uterus. Then it is cervix. Right? Right? And we have the vagina. Basically, ovary क्या release करता है? Ova, and then sperm has been entered through vagina to your fallopian tube. Then ampulla thymus पे जाके we got fertilized. The egg get fertilized by sperm. Then it forms a zygote. Then zygote से will form embryo. Then fetus. Am I clear? यहाँ तक clear है, Krishna? Okay. So in the next lecture, I'll be continuing with the female reproductive system, and in the next lecture, I'll be wrapping up with this lecture. Okay? Shall I pen up here? Any doubts? Any query? Okay, bye-bye. I should end my lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You are now unmuted.
Have a nice day.
You are now muted.